but so far away, we can't go there.
Yeah, this is a typical situation we have here.
Our winter cruise has taken us to Viken in northern Scania, where we have some boat projects to do.
It's beautiful weather today. We're heading out for a walk now, Vera and I. It is really cold. I think we have at least 5 below 0. And we have ice on the water now. Ice on the lines on the boat next to us and a little ice patch on the water. And it's windy today as well, so it feels like at least -10.
Yeah, like Malin said, it's a very cold morning, but it's a beautiful day. And I'm taking the opportunity when they're out walking, Malin and Vera, to do some work on the boat. And there's no rain, so that's also a good reason to try to get something done outside. Yesterday we got the parts for the lifelines, so we can start with that. So that's what I'm going to do today. The reason that we need to do this job is that when we built the arch, we also made these extension bars here. And obviously these wires are now too long, so we need to shorten those and put new end fittings on, and also put a couple of turnbuckles back here so we can get some tension on the wires. We already have one gate here, so we can open up when we're docking to make it easier to come on and off the boat. But we're also going to open up another gate here to make it easier to get the whisker poles out between the stays here. So that's also another thing I'm going to do. And we're going to put some turnbuckles up front so we can get tension, more tension on these wires here. So a little bit of a puzzle, but yeah, I think it will be great once it's done. So what I'm going to do today is taking all the measurements, decide how everything is going to be mounted together, and then bring everything up to Johan's shop, because he has a pressing machine for the end fittings. So we'll do that job up there. After measuring the wires, I mark all of them with the correct position to make it easier to reinstall everything later. I decided to cut some of the wires to the correct length directly on the boat. A hacksaw isn't the best tool for this job, but it was good enough. The hydraulic swage press compresses the end fitting over the wire with the rollers, making a bond as strong as the wire itself.
We just had lunch and now I'm gonna make a little dessert for us. And this is something we call semla, or here in the southern Sweden they often say fastlagsbulle. It's a several 100-year-old tradition, and it used to be that you only ate it during one day, and that is February 16, which was the last Sunday before the fast started. So it is like a Christian tradition from the beginning, and this is so good. It may seem very like simple, but I think that's what makes it really tasty. So what you need is a wheat bun with cardamom in it, and you chop it like this because you need a little lid. That is very important. I'm cheating a little bit today because I haven't made these buns. We bought them already made. The wheat buns, and then you pour an almond paste over. I haven't made these either. You have almond paste in here, and then I'm gonna pour some chopped roasted almond flakes on top of that, and then you have whipped cream, and on top you have powdered sugar, and that's it. And this is very good, so I can really recommend that you take after our Swedish tradition. You can add a little bit of powdered sugar in the whipped cream just to make a little extra flavor. So now I think it's ready, but a good test to see if it's done is you should be able to hold it upside down without it falling out. Yep. You're supposed to have one of these for the whipped cream, so you can make this nice pattern. This is the homemade version. We put on the lid. And last thing to do is to pour some powdered sugar on top. Homemade semla. Should we eat them now?
I was just going to say that. Well, there's many different ways how you can eat the semla. Up north they eat it with hot milk in a bowl with some cinnamon, and it's called a hetvägg or hot wall.
Have you ever tried?
Yeah, I've tried it, but I like it better this way. So,
I don't think I've ever tried, but
I think the origin of that was that the bun back in the days often were dry, so you wanted to drop it in some milk to make it more soft again.
Eatable.
Yeah, eatable. But that's not the problem we have nowadays. Very good.
Yeah, they turned out good.
So it's been a few days now since we came to Viken, and as I told you before, one of the biggest obstacles with cruising in wintertime is getting water. And yeah, it's time again. We're almost empty out of water, so I'll try to see if I can get some. There's a tap on the outside of the house over here, but I've counted how many meters it is. It's 130 meters from the tap to the boat, so a little bit of a challenge to get the hoses all the way to the boat. But I have plenty of connectors on the boat, so hopefully there's a lot of hoses inside the showers here, because the last time we were here in Viken, I think they stored them for the winter in there. So that's what I'm going to do now. Yes, there's water. Unfortunately I can't use this hose because there's water inside of it and it's frozen now. Yeah, it's a pretty long stretch all the way over to the boat. So I probably have to connect like, I don't know, 5 or 6 hoses to reach all the way over there. Yes. Yeah, hopefully that will be enough. I have 6 of these connectors. So we're almost there. Maybe just one more hose and then we can reach the boat. Now we have a hose all the way from the tap to the boat. So let's see if I can get some water. Finally, we're filled up. Took 1 hour and 45 minutes. Crazy. So now I just have to take all the hoses back. When I was done with everything, almost 3 hours had passed. Quite an operation. So today it's Monday. It's been a really cold weekend. You can see the whole harbor has frozen over. So right now we aren't going anywhere. It's pretty thick now, the ice, so I guess we'll have to stay here in Viken for a while. The forecast says that this cold weather is going to be here now for at least another week. And the ice is getting thicker by the day. So the plan for today is that I'm going to complete the lifelines here. Hopefully I will get the last 2 bits that I'm missing, the end fittings for the turnbuckles that I will have up front, so I can press them today and then I can mount everything back together here. So everything seems to be the correct length, so no mistakes. But I think I'll continue tomorrow because right now it's really cold. The wind has picked up. So I'm going to press the last 4 end fittings now. Then everything is done.
We're having meatballs and potatoes for dinner.
So everything is now installed. Turned out really good. And now we have 2 gates, one back here and a forward gate as well, to make it easier to bring out the whisker pole here between the stays when we're going downwind. Everything is really sturdy. The wires up here are 6 millimeters and down here it's 5. And the extension bars back here turned out really good. It's really a lot more solid now. which is nice when you're staying here on the aft deck. So we're going to lower the dinghy, take up a hole in the ice, just to see how thick it is now. It's been below freezing now for around a week, I think. Oh, it's pretty thick, the ice. About this 8 or 9 centimeters. But it's not very hard. On this dock they have a compressor and an air hose under the whole dock with air bubbles to keep it ice free. I guess it's because this dock is a bit more vulnerable to the ice. It's an old dock. But it works pretty well. It's ice free all the way. So a lot of people have been asking us if there's any danger to the boat having it in ice like this. And in my experience there's no problem at all, even with the fiberglass boat. You can do different things. A lot of people, they break the ice around the boat, but in my opinion it's better to just let it sit with the ice as close as possible to the boat. Because if you break the ice around the boat, first you need to do it every day to keep the ice off, or otherwise it will freeze over again. But if you break it, and let's say that there's a foot or 30 centimeters of ice free around the boat, and you can't keep the boat fixed in the middle, the boat will have a greater velocity when it hits that ice if the wind is pushing on the boat. But if you have the ice really close to the boat, it can't pick up any speed really, so the velocity when it hits the ice is lower. Of course you will have some scratches in the anti-fouling, but that's really not a big problem, I think. There are of course other things you can do. You can put a bubbler under the boat like they have here under this dock to keep it ice free. That's probably a lot better than to just break the ice every day. Or you can put this, what do you call it, like propellers, electrical, that you sink also beneath the boat to keep it ice free with current. Of course if you have like an external rudder or anything like that on the boat, that ice can be a problem. But on our boat there's nothing like that sticking out, so nothing for the ice really to damage. So I think for us that are living on the boat, it's really not a big issue, because it's warm inside of the boat, so there's nothing that can really freeze and crack. That can be a problem if you're leaving your boat in ice like this without a heat source on board.
So we don't know how long we'll be stuck here for, but maybe 5 more days at least it's gonna be below zero. Then maybe it will be a little bit above. We'll see if the ice melts.
Thanks for watching. If you like our videos, please consider joining our Patreon crew to support the production. There you will also get some bonus content, like the 3D sketch of our solar arch that we recently shared on our page. See you next week!